Eugene Brown Jr. again, the Life Talker. You know, I am always searching for articles on the drug epidemic in America. And I ran across an article in the New York Times, and it was dated October the 26th, 2017, on the internet. And the authors was Yusa Alhu, Josh Katz, Drew Jordan. Mr. Yusa, if I mispronounce your name, I humbly apologize. Nevertheless, the article went on and said that the facts on America's opioid epidemic, it's the deadliest drug crisis in American history. It kills about 90 Americans every day. And the president directed the Department of Health and Human Service to declare the opioid crisis a public health emergency. It says also that Mr. Trump fell short of fulfilling his promise last August, which would have prompted the rapid allocation of federal funding to address the issue. Now, we all know we are a capitalistic country. And you can have all the ideas you want, but without capital, nothing moves, nothing happens. The American capital is the massive engine that runs our nation and most of the world economy. And the president saying, I quote again from that article, "No part of our society, not young or old, rich or poor, urban or rural, has been spared this plague or drug addiction and this horrible, horrible situation that has taken place with the opioids." Remember when our nation was at war with the terrorists abroad? I'm sure all Americans remember that. Well, we shipped hundreds of millions of dollars to those countries to get information and to help us fight against the terrorists. Now, here's a question I ask myself, and here's a question every American should ask themselves. What is considered a national emergency? So I went to the dictionary. I'm a self-taught man. According to Webster Dictionary, a state of emergency resulting from a danger or threat of danger to a nation from a foreign or domestic source, and usually declared to be in existence by government authority. President already said this is a plague. He know that this is a plague. But he only stated that it is a health emergency and not a national emergency that's causing the devastation of families all across America in every state. If the drug epidemic in America is not a national emergency, then tell the American people what you consider a national emergency is, Mr. President. Did you know? Did you fellas know? Did you fellow Americans know? America has about 4% of the world population, but about 27% of the world drug overdose death. Did you hear that? We're only 4% of the world population, but our overdose death rate is 27% of the world. America has the highest drug rate in the world, and that's from a recent report from the UN Office on Drugs and Crime Statistics. A couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, CNN did a special on how the pharmaceutical companies are paying doctors 6 figures or more to push the opioids for a shopping list of pain. Listen to that. They're paying them. And they're making our children drug addicts. And they are directly responsible for the overdose death in America. And they're becoming richer and richer from addiction and death. Did you hear what I said? They're becoming richer and richer from addiction and death. And I ask all the mothers from the bottom of my heart, cry out in one unified voice. These children that are dying all across America, these are your babies that they're killing with the opioid poison and that deadly, heartless monster, heroin. So mothers of America, we should all take to the street and create massive rallies all across America with one purpose and one goal. Get the president to declare a national emergency so that the federal funds can be released to save our children. That's what we should do. And we should also create 1 million phone calls to the White House in 2 weeks, followed up with 1 million letters. Don't let up on these representatives. Push hard, whether they're local, state, or federal, until we get positive results. Push them so hard until their hair turn grayer. This is for our children. Let me conclude with this warning, because a lot of people make mistakes. Do not mistake nor lump heroin in the class of the opioids. Heroin is in a class all by itself. It is the addiction of all addiction. It never was, nor will it ever be a recreational drug you can turn off and on at will. There's no game playing with heroin, no hip movement to say that you tried it and walk away. Once you try heroin, it will drag the life out of you and all those you love and support for the rest of your life. You will be in a fight beyond your imagination, and your will to resist this monster of addiction will crumble under its immense power over you. And for many years to come, it will be your predominant thought, and it will torture your dreams and your waking hours. It will demand everything from you, and I mean everything, and it will cause you to sacrifice everyone. It will become a natural reflex for you to feed this addiction with lies, deception, and theft. I want you to hear my words when I say this. This is no joke. Anyone bring heroin around you? Anyone try to introduce you to heroin? Run. And I mean run from the monster. Run from this monster. And anyone associated with it. You better save yourself and your loved ones, or you will regret it. Yes, you will. Eugene Brown Jr., the Life Talker. I'm just an ordinary citizen that love our country and all that we stand for. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember, we are Americans, and we never was, nor never will be, a weak nation. Again, I say Eugene Brown Jr., thank you for listening to me, the Life Talker. Until next time.